Hey guys, Ash here coming at you today with another Raid Shadow Legends champion guide. Welcome to the video, guys. Hopefully it finds you all doing well. Today we got brand spanking new hot off the press champion, Kellan the Shrike here from the Sylvan Watchers. He's a Magic Affinity epic champion, guys, which just added to the game, I don't know, maybe about a month ago from the time of this recording. I also have a download link for new players, or if you want to start a new alternate account with Kellan the Shrike as a download reward. So you'll get a free copy of Kellan along with some magic potions, stuff like that. I'll have the download link for you guys in the description below. I also have a promo code and download link channel for Raid Shadow Legends as well, which I'll upload that as well. Maybe I'll link this video on that one. I'll figure something out. Either way, you can get him for free. He's really, really cool looking. I love the aesthetic of the Sylvan Watchers, guys. I just love the background. I love turning the champions around, you know? He's looking pretty cool. I love his armor. Love his helmet, his bow and arrow. He's a cool looking champion. Looks like a cross between Sylvan Watchers and I don't know, High Elves or something like that to me. Either way, guys, what does this dude do? Actually, before that, shout out to Sir Henry White, my artist who I work with. He says, by the way, I've been testing out this epic. I'm impressed. He hit me up about a week or two ago with this. And you can see comparing the damage of Kellan to Trunda and Ethos. And basically rocking the same amount of damage. Now that got my attention. That perked up my attention a little bit. So I want to go ahead and give him a damage check in today's video as well for you guys. Let me go ahead and show you how I have him built first here. Let me go ahead and find him. Be right back. All right, guys, here he is. So we have him in a Savage and a Perception set. Before we get to that, let's go over his kit. Well, what does this dude even do, Ash? On his A1, Impale and Impede. Attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance to place the big version of Weaken for 2 turns. Great ability, great A1. High chance of the big version of Weaken against bosses, especially helpful if you don't have another Weaken champion on your squad. On the A2, Huntsman's Gambit. I like his ability names here. 3-turn cooldown, attacks one enemy 2 times. First hit, 100% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 50%. Second hit, 100% chance of placing the big version of Decrease Speed debuff for 2 turns. Also, Perfect Veil on this champion for 2 turns. Great ability again here, especially against Dark Fae, against Fire Knight, right? And then Cry of the Shrike, an AoE attack, a hard-hitting AoE attack, damage increases by 5% for each debuff on the target, similar to like Solus's A3 ability. So really, really cool here. Let me take a quick look at the multipliers thanks to hellhades.com. He gives a godlike rating to his A1, a 3.4 multiplier. That's awesome. We get a strong rating of 2.8 multiplier on the A2 and a strong of a 3.7 multiplier plus 5% times 5% per debuff on the target. A strong rating out of that A3. So that's really, really cool. On his passive, ignores shield buffs when attacking under a Perfect Veil, which again, he's bringing in his own kit, which helps keep him alive, which is really nice. If you look at his base stats here, his attack is pretty healthy. His HP leaves a little bit to be desired. Same thing with his defense, but again, that's where the Perfect Veil comes into play. Not only can he not be targeted by single target attacks, but also we're going to get that 15% AoE damage mitigation from that Perfect Veil as well when he's wearing it. Masteries, I want to start out just by running him in Helm Smasher with a typical kind of arena build, just to see how much damage he's doing on his attacks. So I went with an arena offensive build with Ruthless Ambush. We went with Bring It Down. We come down and pick up a Helm Smasher with the Savage gear to ignore defense. And then on the support side, obviously we need accuracy on this champion to be pulling off the decreased turn meter and the decreased speed vis-a-vis his A2 ability. So we went down here. We also picked up Master Hexter and Sniper to increase the chances of landing. What did he have? Oh, the Weaken on the A1, right? So that's nice to have as well. Sniper, extra 5%, along with the accuracy masteries. So we put accuracy on his banner to get it up to 292, his base accuracy. So accuracy on the banner. Crit damage on the amulet. We went attack with more attack as substats on the ring. Kind of got, as I said, kind of going all out nuker here to start with. We went with speed, I'm sure, on the boots, if it will come up. There we go. Speed on the Savage boots. We have attack percentage on the chest. We have crit damage with crit rate, looking for it anywhere we can get it in the substats. And then again, prioritizing attack percentage, a little bit of speed, crit rate, crit damage, and accuracy. So the total stats here, kind of a glass cannon in this build. 3,800, nothing too crazy on the attack. 198, 101, 228, or 292 on the accuracy. A fairly realistic build, given that, you know, we have a fully ascended chest piece on him as well. What are we getting here off this? We have an extra 80 attack. Okay, so not the end of the world in terms of benefits, but we'll take it. We'll take any attack we can get here. So that is the build, guys. Those are the masteries on this champion. We talked about his kit. Total stats I showed you already. Let's go ahead and start with the arena, right? All right, guys, here we are in the arena. Let's give my man a try on our speed team here. Let's go against this team. Obviously an easy team to go against, just for a quick damage check to see what kind of damage he can do here, provided everybody's under debuffs, and then we'll go against a more difficult team as well. Is this dude more of a PvE nuker, or is he more of an arena nuker? I don't even know yet, so let's go ahead and find out. If he is a PvE, if he doesn't impress me with these numbers here, I'm probably going to change Mastery, our Tier 6, to War Master instead of Helm Smasher. So Cry of the Shrike, this is the AoE attack. Everybody's got debuffs. Let's see what we got here. So nothing too crazy in terms of damage. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Not super impressed there with that AoE attack just off that one battle. Let's go against... go against this squad here, a little bit of a tankier team with Brogni there, and see what we can do. I'm going to try his A2 this time as our lead-in, probably against Hefrak because we don't want him to nuke the crap out of us, right, depending on if he's asleep or not. All right, he is asleep, so we'll go after Arbiter instead. So he's not under the Perfect Veil, so he's not going to be ignoring the shield. Otherwise, he would be. So if we set him up with somebody like a Duchess, that would be, you know, preferable to ignore the shield. But let's see if we can one-shot Arbiter. Ooh. Yeah, so we did around 24 or 25k or so per hit. Really not super impressive. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm going to go ahead out on a limb and say, based on a very small sample size thus far, I'm not overly impressed with his damage in the arena. Let's try again his AoE attack here. And, you know, 50 to 70k, it's not bad, but like nowhere near the best attack-based nukers, even for epic champions, right? We mentioned a few of them already, but I'm thinking this guy's going to be a PvE specialist because with Helm Smasher and the Savage, I'm not looking at this as a great result in the arena. Was that 171k? Did I read that right? You guys can rewind. I can't. But yeah, you know, not too bad, but still, I'm not overly impressed, needless to say. A champion like Magnar or something can easily out-damage or be a better arena nuker. I'm just not seeing it. Was that his A1 there against Melga? It had to have been, and that's where he got the godlike rating with a 3.4 attack multipliers on the A1 as well. Keep in mind, damage increased by 5% for each debuff on the target. That ought to benefit us, and I'm just not super impressed with him in the arena. So let's go ahead and make that change, guys. Let's go ahead and give him a shot, because I still have this in my mind. I still have that in my mind. So I'm still going to give him a shot in PvE content. So let me go ahead and make that change. After that little experiment there, though, I'm going to go ahead and, again, recommend probably not going to be a Helm Smasher Arena champion. So let's go ahead and reset these masteries. Let's go ahead and focus on getting some accuracy, charge, focus, swarm, smiter. Let's come down. Yeah, I guess I'll just go with Evil Eye here. I do want the Master Hexer to extend the duration of that weaken. I want Sniper to extend the land rate of that weaken. We do need the crit rate and the crit damage on this champion, and we can just come down the left-hand side, give him some Life Drinker to heal himself up as he does damage, go down to Bring It Down, Methodical, and then end with War Master. And then I'm just going to go with, he does have one perception set on, so I'll go with Laura Steel, pick up a little bit of extra accuracy, and then I'm going to go with Shield Breaker. Increase damage against targets under shield, and since he's ignoring shield sometimes, that might have some decent synergy there as well. In terms of blessings on this champion, I'd probably go with Phantom Touch or Cruelty. Probably go with Phantom Touch or Cruelty. So Phantom Touch getting extra damage based on his attack. Cruelty having a, whenever this champion hits an enemy, increases their defense until the end of the round. You could also go with Crushing Rend as well. I always forget which blessing, which category it's in. But after each round, excuse me, a number of those champions hits will ignore a percentage of the target's defense. So I think those would be my options. I don't have them ascended here, but those would be my options for blessings, depending on what makes sense for you. I'm okay with his gear being exactly the way it is. Let's go ahead and make a quick Dark Fae team. All right, guys, so the team that we're going to go with is going to be Deacon Armstrong in the lead. We're going to go ahead and make sure that he's not using his time compression or his A2 on the second wave. We're going to lead in with the A3. We're going to have Kellan not use his A2 on the second wave. We're going to make sure this is a first choice and opener on the third wave. You know what? Might as well not even use it on the first wave. Same thing with the A2. We're not going to use that on wave 1. Not going to use that on wave 2. Actually, we're not going to use either of her abilities here. I guess we can open with Righteous Evocation, and then we will open with her AoE attack on the A3 just to kill our mirror images of us. After that, we're going to make first choice on the Crushing Eternity. Archmage Helmet, we're not going to use Time Slip on the second wave, so he has it on cooldown to open with on the round 3, and Allure on round 3. She is not going to use her A2 or her A3, so she can just control with the Psychic Whip ability. All right, let's see if this works here. Let's go and see what we can do. I'll come back at you guys after the waves, because this is just going to be boring stuff. Nice, easy wave clearing. Be right back. All right, guys, here we go against the Dark Fae. So let's see if this works out. I did have to go in there and retune the team. I needed Deacon Armstrong to be the fastest on the team, not Allure, so I will note that on those speeds that you saw earlier. But everything should be okay here. Just got to be very careful of the enemy Flyja. We'll have a guide on her coming up on the channel too as well. So Deke does fall, but I don't think we're going to have any problems. Again, we have plenty of turn meter control here, and this is the strategy that you guys want to go ahead and employ against Dark Fae. The beautiful thing is, again, that decreased speed is really going to help us out dramatically. I love the 50% turn meter reduction and the decreased speed ability, and even without the control and the debuffs of Deke, I think we're going to be absolutely fine here. So then again, we go in with that A2 there. Did he land the decreased turn meter? I think he did, but I kind of missed it on that last rotation. But again, his damage isn't out of control. I wonder where my man was using him on that. But I love that he brings the weaken too, I should say, right? He's bringing a lot of utility, both control and that weaken on the A1. So even though we lost Deacon Armstrong with a decreased defense, it's going to be 25% extra damage anyway on him. And I have to say that this team's pretty cool, right? We get so much turn meter that Dark Fae is never going to go ahead and be able to get a turn. And this is the type of strategy that you guys can go ahead and use if you're lucky enough to have this champion or anybody like him, right, against Dark Fae. Just basically doubling down on turn meter control, using Allure, using a champion like Kellan, and just preventing her from getting a turn, and that's it. I do have a guide on Dark Fae talking more in depth on this particular strategy, but you could again apply this to Fire Knight as well. Any boss is susceptible to decreased speed and turn meter control. That A2 is a really, really good ability of getting both of those, obviously, and a little bit of damage on top of that. So we have only 3 debuffs, so we're not going to see massive multipliers. Finally, Dark Fae gets a turn there, able to squeeze 1 in at least, but that's going to be it. I am curious to see how much damage overall that he puts out here. Keep in mind, we did switch to the War Master Mastery, as you guys saw. So let's see what we got here. Can we kill her? Who's going to land the death blow? Kellan, it's on you, man. Do it. Do it, man. Finish her. All right, Archbishop goes in. Ew, so close. So close. There we go. All right, so the damage is going to be not bad, you know. Flyja and Kellan put out around the same amount of damage, and he doesn't have, well, he does have the AoE attack, but I think that Flyja put out more damage against the waves. Either way, they're both great control options. I think he's overall, I'm going to give him maybe a 3.5 out of 5 score, on this champion, or a 7 out of 10. I think that he's great for control, but I wasn't overly impressed in the damage. He can help you out in Sylvan Watcher's Faction Wars when that goes live as well. But if you need that turn meter control, if you're lacking that for either Dark Fae or for Fire Knight, I would definitely invest in this champion. Otherwise, I'd probably vault him for now. Guys, let me know what you think of this champion. And remember, I have a download link for you guys as well if you want a free copy of him on a new account. Thank you so much for watching till the end. And as always, take care, guys.